That's really interesting. That's really interesting. I want to picture that.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I'm going to talk about a place called Mary's Gone Wild. It's basically a folk art environment. If you do a Google search, you're going to find it listed on several websites, some including TripAdvisor, Spaces Archives, Port City Daily, Roadside America. You get the picture. Mary's kind of a big deal. Now, locally, she's made a name for herself with her roadside attraction, and it's basically an eclectic collection of bottle art, window paintings, dolls, and a drive to help feed hungry children. Now, my oldest, he loves art, and despite the fact that we don't live very far from Mrs. Mary's place, I had never actually been there. So we decided to drop in and see for ourselves exactly what all the talk was about. So it's located on a pretty busy road, and so we followed the road in, and the sign said there was more parking in the back. So we went further back, and we ended up parking behind the house, and when we got out, we were immediately overwhelmed. From the road, when you pass by, it looks as if from Mrs. Mary's place, it's a maze of these small, tiny houses painted in pastel colors of pinks and purples. And it's not until you're actually face to face with everything that you realize the amount of work and effort that she's poured into her project. It's amazing. So we didn't have to wait very long before Mrs. Mary came out to greet us, and she had a beautiful, cheerful smile and a very kind disposition, very friendly. So I introduced myself and my son, and she told us where we could start to do the tour, to look. So we began at the front, and we started looking into each of the small homes, the little tiny houses. And it wasn't long, we found ourselves in this structure where the walls was mostly windows, and it allowed the sunlight to pour in. And the sunlight just danced off of these glass panes that she had painted. And they were of various, images, such as a lot of sea life. There was crabs and fish marrying and mermaids mermaiding. And Miss Mary explained to us later that she actually has to paint the images backwards on the glass so it'll be displayed correctly from the front. So I noticed most of her pieces are dated, and some even have inspiring messages on them, such as, "Don't you wish you could text God?" Religion is pretty much what pulled Miss Mary into this. Some 40 years ago, it's documented that Miss Mary said she received a vision, and the vision came directly from God. And he told her to do this, to create this art and to do these paintings. And from that work, she'd be doing his will. So Mary did as what she believed God told her, and as they say, the rest is history. Now, I would say this to anyone who's thinking of stopping. Put aside your bias, open your mind, open your heart, your eyes. This kind of art is subjective. Its appreciation is based solely on what the viewer interprets. What one person likes, another person won't. And you don't have to. You can keep driving. Now, there's a short documentary available on Mary's Gone Wild, and there's lots of interviews done and some travel reviews. So there's plenty of documentation about Mary's Gone Wild that you can find if you're interested in researching it and looking it up. But nothing really equates to being there yourself and seeing it firsthand. She's brought together a lot of objects from everyday use, and she's repurposed it and recycled, and what people would call trash or junk, she's turned it into treasures. and displayed it and encompassed it in a way that it shows different textures and wide-ranging colors and patterns. Basically, it's quirky, and it's not going to be for everyone, and that's fine. But what no one can deny is the amount of work that she's put into this never-ending project. The bottle structures themselves took weeks to create. And the paintings that she's done on the floors and the ceilings, well, it's like a folk art Sistine Chapel. So, anyway, I would say check it out. Give it a try and see what you think about it. Pick up a piece and donate to feed the hungry children. And always keep seeking, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.